Tina Crandall versus Bowen Tire. Ms. Crandall, I should tell you that I'm a customer at Bowen and Three Rivers. And they've done real well by me. I don't use the store in Sturgis. It's the same company. But if I disqualify myself in every case where I'm the customer, I won't be able to do any. But do you have any objection to me hearing this case?
I think you're a fair judge. No, I'm okay with that.
Mr. Schnedmiller, do you?
No, you're good, sir.
All right, well, let's talk about this. This is a claim for $527.95. Ms. Crandall went in and asked for and thought she received a wheel alignment. She didn't, or doesn't believe she did. She later went to get her tires checked and realized that she did not, in fact, get a four-wheel alignment. Two of the tires were out of line and ruined, and so she bought two new tires from Walmart, had them installed, and had a proper four-wheel alignment done. So she's asking for at least a partial cost of the alignment and the replacement of the tires. Is that accurate, Ms. Crandall?
Basically, yes.
All right. How did you find out that you did not get a four-wheel alignment?
I had to have something else worked on my car at Auto Parts Ford.
And what is the car?
It was a 2017 Ford Explorer.
All right.
And when I went in and I had that worked on, they came out and said it needed a four-wheel alignment. And
the people at Auto Parts Ford. Okay.
And this was only 3 months after I supposedly had it done at Bowen. And that I had to get new tires before I could get another four-wheel alignment done. So I was shocked because the tires were new, 3 months old. And
so you got new tires, 4 new tires,
and 3 months earlier
at Bowen.
No, I didn't get them. I bought them at Walmart.
Okay.
And then I went to Bowen to get a four-wheel alignment done. Well, at that time, I also needed tie rods done, so they did the tie rods. And
who did the tie rods?
Bowen.
All right.
Somebody at Bowen did them. I don't believe this man did it, but Bowen did the tie rods, 2 front tie rods, and said something was wrong with a knuckle bearing. I don't even know what, but they said that, you know, they would take care of everything and blah, blah. And so when they came back after fixing that, they charged me and everything for a four-wheel alignment. I have the paperwork here saying that they charged me for the four-wheel alignment. 3 months later, I had another issue. I go to Auto Parts Ford because it was A-arms and rear A-arms, and I go in there and they fix the A-arms. And while I was in the waiting room, the girl came out and she says, after replacing the A-arms, you're going to have another alignment. You're going to have an alignment, but we can't do it until you have new tires put on. And that was only 3 months after I bought new tires.
Were the tires
brand new, 3 months old?
But were they?
They were
not functional?
They were worn. One was worn on one side and one was worn all the way across. I had pictures in there.
All right, so they weren't going to do the alignment till you
They would not do the alignment without me buying new tires.
All right, so you bought 2 more of the same tires you bought.
Well, first I went to Bowen and asked if they would replace the tires because obviously the alignment wasn't done properly. And the man on the screen told me that he said, I told your husband, well, my husband had nothing to do with this. I had to do all this on my own. My husband tries to make me be independent, especially when it comes to stuff like that. And
Your Honor, can I interject one thing?
I'll give you a chance to speak. I'll let her finish, then we'll do your side.
Okay.
So he said, he wouldn't replace the tires, and then he said that they didn't do a four-wheel alignment, they didn't do the alignment. I said, but why was I charged for a four-wheel alignment if I wasn't? And then I just walked out and I said, I'll see you in court. And I went to Walmart, got 2 new tires, 2 replacement tires, which were the exact same tires that I had on there, and made an appointment and went and got my tires done, a 4-wheel alignment done.
Who did the 4-wheel alignment?
Auto Part Ford.
Okay.
And at that time, they also said that the knuckle bearing had nothing to do with the wearing of them tires. And that is wrote on one of these papers too, that I turned in.
Mr. Scheidmiller, what's your take from your shop?
So on 8/26, she brought the vehicle in for an alignment. Said she just had new tires put on. My technicians put it up on the alignment rack, discovered it needed inner and outer tie rods in the front and 1 knuckle bushing on the rear. Gave her estimate, gave her for the repairs. She agreed to the estimate. The vehicle was brought back on the 27th for the repairs. I'm pretty sure it was her husband that brought it in, not her, for the repair process. We got in immediately for her appointment time. We did our repairs on the front, replacing the inner and outer tie rods on both sides. Attempted to do the rear knuckle bushing. Unfortunately, the bushing was so worn into the knuckle, we were not able to press the bushing out after several hours of us trying, myself and my technicians. I informed the gentleman that I am going to strongly recommend a new knuckle because I could not press that one out and I didn't want to do any damage to the knuckle. We performed our alignment on the front.
Let me stop you. So you yourself talked to Miss Crandall's husband?
He was there when we did the repairs. Yes, sir.
On April 27th?
August 27th.
August 27th, okay. I wrote April. So it was August 27th?
Yes.
What did you tell him?
Told him that he'd been there for several hours, and I told him we were doing our best to try to get that bushing out. We were not going to be able to, but we'll get the alignment the best we can. I have the specs here from the alignment machine if you'd like to see them. We got the front zeroed in perfectly, the rear. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see on the rear form that the toe and the camber were X'd out, which means that is so far out that it could not be, it is way out of specs. It's not even in the range of the specs of the alignment. As you can see, this is the after specs of it. And you can see that the front is in perfect alignment. The rear is no longer X'd. It is as far as we could get it in with the repairs that needed to be done. He was informed, and it is noted on the receipt, their final receipt, that we could not do the rear knuckle bushing. They were not charged for it.
I don't know whether I have that final receipt.
Probably not. That's the after specs. I don't know if you can see that or not. Basically, what you want to focus on is the bottom because the front's dead center right where it's supposed to be. This is the after specs after we attempted to do the repairs. And this one is the before specs. I don't know if you can see the bottom there, how everything is X'd. That means everything was way out of specs. We did it the best we could on the rear. I did inform the gentleman that it's going to need a new knuckle because we could not get the bushing to press out, or if he could try another shop that had a little bit more equipment than we had to do it, but it needed to be done in order for the rear alignment to be put in the specs. It's noted on their receipt that we could not do the bushing. They were not charged any additional labor, even though we spent 3 or 4 hours trying to get the bushing out. They were not charged for the bushings. They were only charged for the tie rods and the alignment.
All right, well, I'm looking for
My
that.
husband
No,
was
just a
never
minute,
there.
just a minute, just a minute. That receipt, I think, is dated 8/28.
Yes.
Mechanical hourly rate, 310, 330, outer tie rod, inner tie rod. So are we looking at the same thing?
Mhm.
Yes, that's the receipt from the
All right.
28th when we
And it
actually did the
says
repairs.
4-wheel alignment,
Mhm.
Isaac B. Mechanic, $125.
Yep.
Rear knuckle bushings will not press out. Recommended replacing entire knuckle assembly. But it shows here that you did a four-wheel wheel alignment.
And the specs show we did the adjustments the best we could. We got it in the
All right,
specs as far as it would go.
Miss Crandall, you were interjecting there. What, were you there on the 28th?
I was there. He was never there.
All right, so Mr. Bugorski was never there.
And yes, never there. And that's why he's here today. He
I
was
put it-
never
I-
there.
All right,
I
Mr.
made sure
You're under
that-
oath too. So were you ever there? And did you ever talk to anybody from
No.
Bowen Tire?
I made sure that she had to take care of it herself. That way, if I was never there to help her with anything, that she would be able to handle things herself, because I know how, and I'm not accusing them of anything, how some people take advantage of women.
All right, so you were there apparently waiting for a long time for this
I
to be
was.
done. And did they tell you anything about this knuckle bushing
They
thing?
did tell me something about it, but I never saw any of them specs that he was holding up there. He never said nothing, showed me any of that.
Yeah, all it says is they did a four-wheel
And
alignment.
all it says is they did a four-wheel alignment. He did tell me that there was problem, even on the thing that he said that they were gonna try to do the real knuckle bearing. And he said he couldn't do it. And that I should try to get it done somewhere else.
All right, so did
and-
you do that?
I did not do it because, like I said, 3 months later, it still didn't need done on other paper. It wasn't a problem. It had not caused me any problems.
All right, so when you went to the other place,
Yes,
they said the knuckle bearing is not what your problem is.
it's not, it has nothing to do with anything.
Did Auto Park Ford replace or repair that knuckle bearing?
No, because it doesn't need replaced.
But they were able to do the alignment.
Yes. I have, I don't know if I turned that one paper in. The tech checked both rear knuckle bushings for play and found that,
Now,
Right.
what are you looking at?
I have a copy of it.
Well, you may have filed one with me.
I don't know if I filed it with you. It was the very last, it would have been the very last page.
Auto Park Ford.
It said,
Right, says the tire will need to be replaced and alignment is required. This current alignment is out of specification.
yeah, there was another one from Auto Park Ford that I don't think I turned in.
All right, the rear upper control arm were replaced. The rear
Yes.
knuckle bushings were inspected. The driver's side bushing has slight play, by the passenger side bushing is within specification.
Right,
The rear passenger tire shows abnormal wear pattern. The tire will need to be replaced and alignment is required as to the current alignment is out of specification.
right. And then the one that I just handed you. And then the alignment that was there is on there. I don't understand all that stuff, but
All right,
the
then
wheel
this,
alignment
this
was there.
says, all right, they gave you this thing showing the alignment
Right,
that
that's
they apparently
what it
didn't give you
was.
at Bowen.
Yeah,
All right, now, then there's pictures of the tires. Then this thing from Auto Park says, customer request a four-wheel alignment, Tech Dillon Parish. Tech checked both rear knuckle bushings for play and found that driver's rear had very minimal play. That is no concern at this time. While the other bushing passenger rear had no play. Tech R&R, both rear and upper control arms and performed a four-wheel alignment after
Yes.
customer had both rear tires replaced.
yes,
So Mr. Schneidmiller, apparently you're mistaken. I believe her version and his version that he was never there.
I could be. I see a lot of people. I could have
Yes.
been mistaken. I thought it was him. It could have been her.
All right. And Auto Park wasn't worried about the bushings.
Mhm.
they still don't, I've traded it in since then, but
No.
they still didn't say that I needed them knuckle bushings replaced.
All right, so I interrupted you in the middle of your testimony when she said he was never there, and I believe her. I believe him. Your charge said you did a four-wheel alignment. It didn't say new wheel alignment not within specs. It just recommended you check the knuckle bushing, which eventually she did. They said it wasn't a problem. Go ahead with your side of the story.
After we performed the work, we did inform her. 3 months later, she took it in to have basically rear upper control arms done that my techs did not find needed to be done at that time. But 3 months in Michigan roads can cause a lot of damage. Your rear upper control arms or toe arms are your major points to a rear alignment. And if they replace those, then yes, the rear alignment would have to be redone on it. She was informed that we got it as close as we could with the issue that was going on. Looking at these tires, these tires were, yes, they do have some unusual wear, but that vehicle could 100% been aligned with those tires on there. I've been
Say
doing
that
this over.
again.
This car could have been easily aligned with those tires on there. The wear was not that bad. When she first came in and talked to me, she made it sound like the steel cords were coming out of the tires and they were severely worn. These tires, looking at the pictures, are not severely worn. There is some inner edge wear on the one tire, but the car could have been aligned without the tires with no problem.
All right, so one party feels she needs new tires, and there's no skin in the game for them. They didn't sell her the new set of tires.
Neither did I.
So they said, we need you to go get a new set of tires before we'll do the alignment. It's your contention, looking at the pictures, that they didn't need a new set of tires. But
Yeah.
those were the tires that were on there when you did the alignment. Now, you showed me two versions of the alignment. You held it up. I couldn't really tell what I was looking at. One was bad and the other was less bad.
So this is her initial specs. This is when the vehicle came into the shop. You can see the front, the toe was way out. That's because we had to do the tie rods. But if you look at the rear, where these specs are X'd, that is because the specs were so far out that the scanner couldn't even read the specs where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be within those parameters of the degrees. This is her before specs. After we performed the alignment the best we could, you can see the top is zeroed in right where you can see the rear now. It's actually reading the specs after we adjusted it as far as we could. You can only go so far when there's loose parts or whatnot, or adjustable toe arms need to be put in. So we did adjust the rear as far as we could, and she was informed of that. And she did get one of these. My technicians put one of these in the car. If she did not understand it, then she should have came in and asked me what this paper was. But there was one of these put in the car.
Your testimony was under oath. You talked to him and told him all this stuff. Now you're telling me with clarity that she was told this, this, and this when you talked to hundreds of customers. Did you ever get a printout that he showed of the?
I have every printout of every time I took anything into the shop. There's no printout.
Let me see your packet. See if that.
This is every printout of every time I took that car into the shop.
Just
There's nothing in there.
I have one of those. Just show me the one from Bowen that you have there.
I wrote on the front of that paper when I left that place, because I asked him, what are the warranty on the parts and labor? And that's when I wrote that on there, the parts and the labor. That's the warranty they had. And I wrote it at
3 years
the time.
parts, 1 year labor.
Yes. And I didn't just write that. I just wrote it. I wrote it the day I got done.
So a four-wheel alignment, that's pretty good price, $125.
Well, I mean, I got it done at Auto Parts for $159, so.
All right. So how much is it per tire?
So how we do it, because we're a tire shop, we're not an alignment shop, we're not a mechanic shop. We do alignments and basic mechanical work to keep cars safe and keep our customers safe. I have it set up, and so does Matt Bowen, where it's just whether we do just the front, the rear, do all four. It's just the one price at 125. Unless you
All right,
purchase tires
so-
from us, then it's 100.
All right, so a wheel alignment, no matter how many wheels it is $125.
Yes, sir.
Plus labor.
No, ma'am, that's $125 labor.
Okay.
All right, well, what do you, in your opinion, Mr. Scheidmiller, what would cause her tires to be this bad in 3 months?
Well, if she took it into auto park and they found out the rear toe arms went bad, then that'll kick the camber out, which that's the wear on that one tire. That's camber wear when you see it on the inside edge like that. So that means that control arm went bad at some point, kicked the camber in and caused the weight of the vehicle to be pushed to one side of the tire versus the full face of the tire. They do have it noted here that they've replaced both upper control arms, which that would cause that. In 3 months' time with Michigan roads, a lot of things can happen. I did look at my text notes. There was nothing mentioned about needed rear control arms or anything like that. But like I said, 3 months later, I can't tell you.
All right, so the control arms are different than the tie rods?
Yes, the control arms are in the rear. They're your upper A arms. The tie rods are your front steering arms.
All right, so it's the same function on the rear tire. So those were not replaced at your shop?
No, sir.
All right, so when you went to Auto Park Ford, did you get the control arms replaced?
I did because it had something to do with when you put it in 4-wheel drive. Well, them 2 icy days, I drove down the road and when you put it in 4-wheel drive, it would make it worse on the ice. So I ended up taking it in to find out why it was doing that. And that's what it was doing because of being in 4-wheel drive. I don't usually put it in 4-wheel drive. I only had it in 4-wheel drive for 2 days. So I found out that that's what it was.
All right, so when you take it to Bowen, it's in the summertime.
Yeah, in August, yes.
And we had an early winter, it started in November. So
Right,
you found in November when it was snowy and you put your 4-wheel drive in, that made it.
yes, it made the back end sway back and forth. Is what I believe is what the 8 arms do, is control the, when you put it in 4-wheel drive, it controls the swinging
All right,
in the back
so
end.
that was the problem between August and November that caused you to take it into Auto
Yes.
Park Ford.
Yes,
All right, so you didn't ask Bowen to change the control arms. They didn't change the control arms. They did a tire balancing to the best that they could. But that is an awful lot of wear for 3 months.
in 3 months, yes. When they, and they guarantee their work for a year.
Mr. Schneidmiller's opinion is the tire did not need to be replaced. Auto Park Ford's position was they did need to be replaced.
They couldn't do the alignment again with them tires on there.
Essentially, if this car
They
came,
look worse, than what was in that picture because of the wear. They were worse than what was in them pictures. It looked a lot worse than what was in them pictures. You couldn't align them with what was in them pictures.
So the
It would have been
tires,
like taking old tires and trying to align it.
trying to look for the estimate of the price tag on the tires. There's a Walmart receipt.
Yeah, a Walmart receipt. The tires were, to replace the 2 tires was $368. Well, that's because that's what I I replaced it with exactly what I had on it with the road hazard and everything, so it's actually the tires were 150 each. Just the tires.
All right. I have a lot of auto mechanic cases. This situation, Miss Crandall has a more clear recollection of it than Mr. Schneidmiller does. For her, it was her only case. For him, it was one of probably hundreds between August and now. They do try to keep their customers satisfied. There was a 3-year parts and labor warranty. They didn't do the control arms at the time of the service, but they were done later. They did do an alignment, whether it was 2 wheels or 4 wheels, it was the same price. They did the alignment the best they could. I don't think they informed her very well of what she needed to do, but they said she needed a knuckle bearing. And Auto Park Ford said she did not need a knuckle bearing. It looks to me like the tires were 172. Does that sound right?
Yeah, probably 172 each, yes.
That's what it looks like here.
Yes,
I'm gonna allow one tire, 172 plus 46.25.
okay,
Total of $208 and $218.25 for the plaintiff. I can't tell. She's in there in good faith trying to get this fixed. They're in good faith trying to fix it, but frankly, within 3 months, it wasn't fixed. Auto Park Ford says the knuckle bearing was not the issue. And Auto Park Ford looked at the actual tires, not just a picture of the tires, said you need 2 new tires before we can even align it. She didn't even ask for the cost of the alignment. Maybe a tie bearing failed or a control arm failed. Maybe there was another issue, but I'm gonna allow the cost of 1 tire and your costs. Mr. Schneidmiller will send you a copy of that to the shop. You can send a check to her within 30 days.
thank you.
All right, if you go out to the counter, they'll give you a copy of that order.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Would you take that out for them? Thanks. All right, Mr. Schneidmiller, thank you.
Thank you, Honor.